In the previous episode, Dong won the battle against the most powerful opponent, and Lin family moved to the Yan city. Now Dong has reached the second level of martial arts skills. He is also a warrior at the second level of Symbol Master Seal, and still practicing to reach level 3. It starts with a journey in the bamboo street, where Dong is traveling with his brother along with some carts. The carts are filled with yuan stones and they are going for trading. But suddenly they get attacked by some mountain bandits and Dong asks his brother to leave and take care of other servants. Now Dong defeats them with the Grand Gate Seal technique and they get injured badly and rush away. The immigration of Lin's family to Yan City is unacceptable for some families, because their popularity is now in danger. Lin's family is becoming rich with the Yongyuan stone mine. On the other hand, the adversaries of the Lin family steal their Yongyuan stones from their warehouse when Dong is busy in fighting. They trick Dong by engaging him with bandits and rob all the stones. When Dong tells his grandfather about the robbery, he understands that it is the plan of one of their enemies. So instead of investigating, Dong's grandfather commands him not to be involved in any misconduct between families, because they have just shifted to Yan City, so they cannot afford any dispute at this point. Now Dong is with his cub friend Xiao Yan and trying to practice to achieve the third level of Symbol Master Seal. However, he cannot reach the level of mental power cultivation and thinks that the powerful stone in his hand is in sleeping mode now. The cub is now Dong's and King Tan's best friend. She, his younger sister, enters the room and informs him that she is also practicing martial arts. She is here to inform him about the message of the Grand Master named Yan, who is calling Dong. But King Tan has a symptom of frosting, which disables her body for some time, and in the last season it was treated with the help of stone. Still, she has some traces of the syndrome, but it does not completely clear. Now minor signs of the symptoms starts appearing, but she hid them from his brother. Kian Tan conveys the message of the Grand Master, who wishes to see Dong to discuss something important. He instantly leaves with Xiao to meet him and a disciple of the master takes him to the master on the top of a mountain. They are floating on a piece of rock, and large blocks of hills are standing in the air at the entrance of the training school built by the master. The massive blocks are floating in the air without support, which is a fascinating scene for Lin Dong. At the entrance bridge of the Grand Master's hut, a lady attacked Dong with strong mental power techniques. A tower battle is supposed to happen in the next few days, and the lady challenges him to win her first if he wants to participate in the battle. Dong replies with counterattacks, but she is so strong that he cannot stand and gets impressed with her abilities. The master commands them to stop fighting, so they instantly apologize and stop fighting. The master calls both of them to instruct them about the coming battle and says that he himself had lost this war twice, so they need to be extra prepared for it, because the enemy is one of the strongest city symbol master guild. The opponent's family comes and challenges them. They are overconfident about their last 2 victories. The opponent leader asks to investigate the young pupils of Grandmaster Yan to see what they are practicing. On the other hand, Grandmaster Yan is briefing Dong and the lady about the battle and preparing them for their next move. He states that if you can reach up to the 7th floor of Tower Battle, then you can break the 3rd level of Symbol Master Seal. And on the 8th floor, you will get the spirit state of the mental secret technique left by our marvelous ancestors. Dong and the lady were talking about the ultimate powers of the opponent warriors. Meanwhile, they hear screaming voices. They see the leader of the opposite team attacks one of the disciples of the Grand Master's school. He is very arrogant and considers them very weak and feeble. The lady pushes Lin Dong into the battlefield to see his abilities. The lady's behavior has been very cold towards Dong since the start. She is cold because Dong has replaced her as the strongest person in Yan City. He apologizes and leaves the battlefield, but when the opponent makes fun of him, he attacks him as a counter-argument. He realizes that Dong is very strong but still calls him trash, and a battle starts. Lin Dong mysteriously absorbs the mental power of the opponent and he starts screaming, "I admit defeat." In the end, Dong sucks all of his mental power and his abilities flourished up to the mark. He notices a positive change in his body. He confiscates the 3 mysterious ice swords of the opponent. After 2 days, the lady picks up Dong and hits the place where the opponent's family is waiting for him. They apologize for the previous fight and ask for their swords back, but Dong refuses. This burns the flames of hatred in their hearts. They decide to take revenge whenever they get a chance. However, they challenge them for the tower battle and leave. Meanwhile, the Grand Master with a teacher approaches them. The teacher is arrogant and considers them weaker to fight, because he symbolizes master at level 4. He is sure that the winner will be the opponent's team. Hence the master forbids him to conclude anything about the winner before the battle. Grandmaster is eligible to open the Symbol Master Tower with his mighty mental power abilities, and the tower is incredibly appealing. The tower appears as a long Chinese-style floor building surrounded by shining bright yellow light. The master reads some scriptures and opens up the entrance of the tower's first floor, where a huge stream of wind and bright golden light emerge. The tower is standing in all its mighty stature. The disciples of both teams are encouraged to enter the tower, and the battle starts. They elaborate on the rules and regulations of the competition. It's been half a year since Dong has practiced mental power techniques, and he is the biggest hope for winning the competition for Master Yan. Otherwise, Yan City will appoint new leaders and it would destroy the city's peace. On entering the tower, Dong absorbs some mysterious unknown energy unaware of it. Anyhow, he moves ahead and a super dense cloudy smoke is spinning in the middle, and it is the gateway to reach the top floors. He enters, finds large blocks of rocks and passes one of them while saving himself from the attacks. The density of mental power is very rich here. The opponents reach the 5th floor and fall from the 6th floor because the mental power on the floor is very strong. Everyone cannot stand this density. Dong is on the 3rd floor and continuously absorbing the mental powers of all floors and reaches the 5th. He finds the opponents there and they offer a lot of Yongyuan stones in exchange for ice swords, which Dong snatched in the last fight. They also offer to leave the competition if they get their swords back. But Dong refuses and a dispute arises. Both opponents are extremely powerful and fighting with great potential and powers. Dong absorbs the power of the ancient mysterious seal symbol there, also the mental powers of both opponents. On the 6th floor, the lady from Dong's team with one of the strongest opponents has been fighting for a long time. But Dong defeats her and heads towards the 6th floor. The lady is about to fail the battle with the opponent, but Dong saves her life and asks her to go back. Now he enters the 7th floor, where the opponent is already present. The Yan City's strongest lady could only reach the 6th floor. Everyone is amazed that Dong creates history by reaching the 7th floor, although it was very difficult for him, but he still manages to get there. The opponent challenges Dong to fight arrogantly and Dong accepts. Besides, the mental power of the 7th floor is extraordinarily strong. Looming flashes of light and rocks all over there, which makes it very difficult for Dong to survive, and also the opponent is very strong. Entering the 8th floor is the real challenge. The opponent seems to succeed initially in reaching the floor, but a bolt of large thunderous lightning hits him and he falls. Dong is still struggling with the rocks and the opponent's steel symbol is starting to disappear, so he decides to heal it first. These symbols shine brightly on the warriors' foreheads, and if Dong reaches the 8th floor he will also get the symbol on his forehead. The keepers on the 8th floor are made up of pointed swords-like shapes, and they spread strong bolts of lightning all over there. However, Dong manages to fight the lightning and is about to enter the 8th floor. But a tremendous python with shining bright lightning fangs appears as a monster. It surrounds him and entangles him tight and continuously producing flashes of electric shocks. Meanwhile, Dong empowers his dignity symbols and remembers the promise of his master, and the flashbacks encourage him to put in his final efforts. He finally succeeds in entering the 8th floor. It is the first time anyone has won that floor, and everyone outside standing thinks that it is the opponent that reaches the 8th floor. On the other hand, Lin's family receives notice of the predicted robbery at night and takes precautions to stop it. They decide to keep awake all night and forbid everyone to leave the house. However, a traitor is listening to all this and tries to sneak into the house, but her presence is felt by the father. Dong is performing some ritual on the 8th floor to gain seal symbol level 3, and to absorb the knowledge of the particular symbol. The symbol is mysterious and surely it contains some secrets of their ancestors. All members of both teams get outside of the tower and everyone is waiting curiously to see the winner. The Grandmaster is wishfully hoping for Dong to win the 8th floor. Everyone is stunned at the defeat of the opponent's team, because he was considered the strongest one. Dong gets the symbol on his forehead, which shines simultaneously. Now Yan City is celebrating its victory. Master Yan and his team is now the owner of the symbol tower and the city. The opponent accepts the defeat in a humble manner, at which Master Yan predicts that he will be a great warrior one day. A bright flow of tons of light spreads all over, and finally, Dong succeeds in finding the transformation symbol and his level is now improved. Just then a large unknown symbol emerges on the floor's roof and Dong's dignity symbols run toward it. Dong follows them and enters a hidden dimension. This hidden dimension has a mysterious treasure and Dong is completely unaware of the facts. He reaches for the ancestral symbol, which is the strongest of all of the remaining. Little Martin, the squirrel in his hand sleeping since season 1, wakes up and tells him about its history. This symbol is not created by anything but the powers of the heavens and earth, and there are about 8 ancestral symbols. The little marten is now transformed and appears in its original form, brown body and shining tail. The spiritual symbols of Dong look similar to ancestral symbols. He places the symbol in front of those symbols to predict their relationship. Now a large geographical map of a known place appears, and the location of 2 ancestral symbols is pointed on the ground. A total of 8 symbols, and the location of 2 of them is known now. Dong lost his spiritual symbols in the process, and now he has to find ancestral symbols, as stated by Little Marten, to get his symbolic powers back. The squirrel promises to help him find the ancestral symbols and create him the strongest person on the island. The spiritual symbols return to Dong on their own after some time, and his forehead again starts shining. Now Dong is back in the city. King Tan arrives at the tower crying and sobbing. Dong gets scared and leaves instantly to help his family. The enemies sneak out into the places of Lin's family and injure them badly, but Dong arrives and defeats him. All the Lin family and Master Yan celebrate their victory and appreciate Dong well. Now Dong is teaching his skills to the scouts and practicing for the family battle, which is 2 years ahead. The cub chases him to King Tan, who is again getting the frosting syndrome. The squirrel finds it interesting as he knows that, and indeed, it is a blessed physique. Rather, Dong believes that King Tan's body is possessed by Yin Devil's body, and she suffers, but the squirrel unveils the truth. This is the Terminus Devil's body, and if it condenses Yin energy, then it would become more powerful. Yin energy can stop this process, and the devil's body can leave her sister. Dong heads towards the 1,000 Gold Association to find Yin energy in the city, and they present him with Elixir 6, a rare blood vermilion devil fruit. She also tells him about the ancient tomb in the mountains, where he can find his sister's cold cure. 4 big families are also stated here, and Heavenly Realm's cultivator is the true thing that can cure a cold. His sister's body is a miracle for him, because if the talented person gets the Heavenly Realm, it would convert into a Heavenly's heart and provide ultimate potential. Little Marten wants his demon spirit back, and Dong needs the cure for cold from the ancient tomb. So both agree to help each other. The main family is a part of the Lin family, and if the Lin family wins the clan battle, then it will be included in the main family. People from the main family arrive and start bullying and teasing people, so Dong asks for a fight. On the other hand, Lin's grandfather asks for permission from the main family's leader, Miss Lin, to take Dong on a trip to the ancient tomb to gain experience. Now Miss Lin, the leader and the grandfather encounter Dong's fight. She gets impressed with Dong and agrees to take him along for a visit to the ancient tomb. However, Dong didn't know that his grandfather is also planning a trip to an ancient tomb. The tomb is very dangerous, so he is polishing his powers stronger before the visit. He engulfs the gifted devil's fruit and gains incredible powers. The visit starts and they are in the middle region. They stop to spend the night and sense some danger. Suddenly terrible scouts covered them from 4 sides with large swords, and the famous Blade Slaughter gang attack them. Miss Lin and Dong succeed in winning the fight with the help of the array symbol achieved on the 8th floor of the tower. The next morning, they reach the tomb and meet people from the other 4 big families. A large seal in the sky is present, and Miss Lin informs that when Big Brother Lin Lingshan comes, the seal will break. Now Lin Lingshan arrives on a large furious eagle made up of Yuan power, and another member of the Wang family with large pheasant reaches. Another powerful member of the Qin family also appears, and the 3 start challenging each other to break the seal. All these people are super rich and belong to the richest and most powerful families. Dong wishes to get that stronger one day. A fairy, although breaks the seal with extraordinary powers. They are all chasing for Heavenly Heart, the treasure of the ancient tomb. Little Marten helps him to find the treasure by smelling the ancient tomb's statues and walls. With the help of Dong's mental power and Marten's abilities, they all reach the original Yuan pills and the demon spirits. Yuan pills are bright yellow and demon spirits are sparkling blue. They get the treasures and run from there and sneaking out through a hidden door. Dong and Wang's family find another treasure hunt and fight for the treasure. Dong, Cub and Marten reach there and help them break the seal. Finally, the seal is broken and both families fight for the treasure. Dong and the leader of the Wang family withstand each other and Lin's family wins. Dong asks Miss Lin's permission to go alone to visit the tomb, as he needs to find the dragon's saliva for treatment. They are in a maze and cannot find the way out. Suddenly, the stones start crushing each other and they run for their lives. Meanwhile, they unknowingly fell into a cave and found demonic skeletal bodies like puppets. The puppets' eyes start blinking. Dong is unaware of the circumstances and they are exploring the place. They find a completely covered lake covered with frosting cold and enter the lake. They recognize the dragon's saliva and Dong is about to get with his mental power, but the puppet attacks them. After a long fight, Dong freezes the puppet with his spiritual symbol power. He gets the saliva and gives 2,000 yuan pills to Martin, because it insists pay for the favor of saving him from the puppet. They are finding a way out, but suddenly, a ferocious python appears made up of fire and attacks him, and he kills it with his large ice sword. Next, they find the heavenly treasure and see a tomb farther away from the place. He also finds the members of other members looking for the heavenly heart. Dong decides to enter the tomb and perhaps the treasure is in there. So, he with his 2 pets rush toward it. On reaching the tomb he finds the fairy, a member of one of the richest families. Dong finds the heavenly heart, a bright green globe. He is fascinated by the fairy's beauty and powers. He likes her beauty and unbelievable powers. Dong surrenders to the heavenly heart, hands it to the fairy and leaves to discover the tomb. The heart would give a burning sensation while absorbing anyone who tries to own it. The heavenly heart doesn't accept the fairy's body, and the power is so strong that if she did not use it, it would swallow her. Dong finds this trouble and runs to leave, but the fairy stops him and misjudges his intentions. The fairy asks for help, but Dong recognizes her evil intentions and refuses to help. Consequently, she abandons him. Meanwhile, the owner of this tomb appears, because the fairy smashed his coffin into pieces in rage. The owner is merely the remains of his soul, and he informs that only 2 lovers can get the heavenly powers. As Dong and the fairy are not lovers, they cannot get the powers, and the owner punishes the fairy for misbehaving. Dong begs him to spare her and he agrees, but he decides to write their destiny and push them closer to each other. He sent them to an imaginary land and grew a seed of love in both hearts, hypnotizing them and compelling them to kiss. The place changes to a garden full of roses and loves all around, and finally they kiss each other. The owner gets troubled by his destiny and his love story is ruined. That's why he creates the heavenly heart. He likes Dong's kindness and promises to teach him extraordinary skills. Dong comes out of the imaginary world and surprisingly gets the perfect stage Yuandan realm, which is a much advanced stage. Fairy gets so furious at Dong's behavior and attacks him. He continuously apologizes, but she tries to kill him. Suddenly, he starts caring for him and leaves him. Members of other families move in and ask them about the heart. As the array of the heart vanishes and it is obvious that it has gotten its master already, Dong tries to sneak out, but the fairy stops him and demands a fight, because she thinks fighting among 2 brave warriors leads to strong learning. Dong admits his defeat and asks for leave, but she compels him to fight still. With her team and other members, Miss Lin gathers there and Dong senses trouble. Everyone is amazed and furious to see the young kid Dong getting all the treasures, and they decide to take revenge. Wang's family dispute arises because they want to avenge their defeat in the last battle. Dong states that the treasure is not anyone's property, and whoever gets it first, it belongs to one. Everyone agrees with Dong in the hall, but Wang's family accuses him of stealing the weapons. They ask him whether to return the weapon or face trouble, and Miss Lin also supports Dong. Lin Langshan inquiries about the family of Dong and finds out that they somehow belong to the same family. Lin Langshan asks Dong to apologize and hands the weapon to Wang's family, but Dong refuses to accept the orders. He throws a powerful attack and Dong cannot handle it. Miss Lin advises him to do the same. However, Dong is confident of his abilities and accepts the challenge. Lin Langshan is one of the strongest and attacks with his full potential. He challenges Dong to reach an endpoint, and if he survives his attack, he will accept his win. Dong is about to die, but he remembers his sister, grandfather, master, and other family members. His mental power benefited him to reach the end point. The scene switches to a mountain, where Dong meditates and tries to get his ranks higher. He remembers Lin Langshan's attack, and this troubles him a lot. He regrets his past as he got insulted so badly in front of 4 major families. Little Martin tries to console him, but they are very disappointed, because Dong has to defeat Langshan in the final clan competition 2 years ahead. Dong is thinking of getting the ancestral symbols till then to defeat him. Little Martin says that long ago, a catastrophe occurred and no one could handle it. However, a very strong person appeared and won all 8 ancestral symbols. He manages to stop the catastrophe and his whereabouts are unknown to everyone. It is worrying that if now the 8 symbols merge again, what crisis would happen? Dong is motivated to get the symbols. They notice a sharp-edged sword appear between the sky and heads up towards them, and a large thunderous explosion occurs. It is Wang Yun who is here to kill Dong and get the magic weapon back from the ancient tomb. Dong gives the dragon's saliva to his cub and asks it to leave. Wang is a form creation realm and throws a powerful attack on Dong, but he manages to save himself with the help of symbol array. The owner of the tomb blessed him with supreme powers in the tomb during hypnotization, and he was unaware of it. but he remembers his talk from the tomb about Halberd's ancient heavenly scale technique. He owns it and counterattacks Wang. Little Martin also advises him on tips and tricks to win the battle. Two pythons of both of them are fighting rigorously in the sky and no one is accepting the defeat. Dong spares his life with the help of a puppet he found in the frosting lake, and he also gets amazed. He didn't know about the puppet. Dong orders the puppet to kill him and now the fight starts. Wang cannot hold the puppet's attack and is injured badly. The puppet is actually due to the Yuan pills. A master with a white beard hit there out of nowhere and helped the Wang to kill Dong. Dong gets scared and starts running, but little Martin encourages him to fight and he stops the attack of the master. He runs continuously and the master is attacking behind him. He promises to take his life today. In the meantime, the fairy moves in between the tremendous fight and saves Dong from falling off a cliff. The fairy takes him to a heavenly place and asks him to forget everything about what happened in the tomb. Although Dong is very disappointed by his defeat and cannot accept it, so he considers himself unworthy of fighting with anyone. The fairy forbids him to mess up all around and focus on his training. She also states the 100 Dynasties War and challenges him to be worthy of standing in front of her then. Dong wishes to be that strong one day that he can stand in front of her. She pushes him back with full potential and warns him not to challenge her again. Little Martin senses the love in Dong's heart for her, but he ignores it. They move back to Yan City to treat Kyantan the Frosting Syndrome. He performs the ritual with dragon's saliva and Kyantan starts transforming. She also suffers the whole process, reveals that the yin energy is stored in her body for almost 10 years. The energy of dragon saliva is so strong that she cannot stand it and soon falls off. The terminus body escapes out of the Kyan's body and it is a strong, smoky spirit. Dong is fighting with it, but it is so strong that a little blow could freeze everything. Dong throws the 1000 flame transformation with full potential, but it still escapes. Dong draws a huge fireball around the devil's body. He stands it for a long time but escapes twice. For the third time, Dong musters up all his courage and bound it tightly with the fireball. He asks his sister to subdue the devil's body. Kyantan approaches it, but the spirit hits her back. She stands up again and subdues all its energy into a ball and finally it vanishes. They succeed in freeing her body from the terminus devil spirit. It makes an enormous purple ball in the sky and instantly she gets to the rose level 1. She already broke through the Yuan Dan realm to the perfect stage. Little Martin states that it is obvious whenever the devil's body leaves, the person transforms. Now Dong and Kyantan are very pleased. This little girl is now so strong that she can take care of her family and herself. Dong is now satisfied that he can leave without getting anxious. Kyantan's strength is almost beyond Big Brother now. Dong is leaving to practice for the competition and he will get back after 2 years. After this episode ends, watch the video of the left side if you have missed the previous part, and subscribe to Annie Summary for more anime recaps.